So thank you for joining this morning webinar. So let's start the session for today. I am Guillaume Oliveira, Corporate Solution Architect for Sony. And today we will present together with Thomas the session about masterclass. You may have seen our previous sessions, the room booking one, as well as the full TEOS presentation one. If not, of course, don't hesitate, whether if you don't have the link, to ask us to get the link, whether to be able to connect from your device directly. So today the session will be 30 minutes, and at the end, of course, we will have a small Q&A session.
Thank you very much, Guillaume. So we will start this session. If you can go to the next slide. Sorry. So as Guillaume has said, so today will be really about discussing about our workplace proposition. So before we start into the detail, let us also maybe introduce quickly ourselves. So my name is Thomas Issa, and I'm the head of TEOS Solutions within Sony, and in charge, of course, of the planning and the marketing of the solutions. And I will let you, Guillaume, you introduce yourselves.
Yes, thank you, Thomas. So I am Guillaume Oliveira, and I am in charge of the technical aspects for TEOS in terms of solution.
Thank you, Guillaume. So let us focus today really on the flex office. So last week was about the room booking. So this time we will really address a new topic, which is really how employees in the office can really manage their bookings, manage their desk, go and enjoy the new flexibility which can be offered to them. So if you can go to the next slide, Guillaume. Perfect. So before we get into the details, we will proceed in two ways for this session. The first one will be really to show you a little bit what we have done for the Flex Office in this new release of TEOS, the version 3.0. And then based on this and after this, we will really show you on the platform what has changed, how it works for the configuration, and of course on the apps themselves, because our goal for today is really to be able to show you exactly the way it works for you to really be able to see in live our solution working, a little bit like what we have done last week for the room booking. So if you look into the Flex Office today, so as you know, we have released the TEOS version 3.0 a couple of weeks now. Again, last week, we really focused on the improvements and the new items that we have done for the room booking. For the Flex Office, we have done a few things. All of them are not visible here, but just to let you know. So first of all, of course, it's the first official release which include flexibility in Office, meaning the desk booking, meaning a lot of items that we will cover in these sessions. On top of this, we have made some big improvements also to two items of TEOS, which are the employee applications. So the one that we will show you also in a minute, but the one that you can access from your mobile phone or your computers, and also the Outlook add-in. So we have bring some new possibilities like the parking spot management, like some enhancement as well that you can see here in order to simplify the booking and to bring some new functionalities like the service incidents and of course some deeper compatibility with Android version and iOS version. However, really to insist, the main new thing of this release is not what you can see here. It's really the Flex Office itself, which is now a full part of TEOS and fully integrated in the platform in order to cover a lot of different workflows. And we will see that with sensors, with QR code, with mobile phone, for employees to be able to book their desk from home, and of course to go to the office in the best possible way to manage check-in, check-out, and so on from the office. So what I will do now is to go to the next slide actually. So in order to proceed for the Flex Office, just as a quick introduction before we show the platform, we will really insist on three ways and three different workflows that we can access from TEOS today in order for employees, of course, to do Flex Office and for companies to offer Flex Office. The first one will be the mobile application, so TEOS Mobile, TEOS Employee App, which is compatible, as you can see, with a lot of different platforms, Office 365, Microsoft Outlook, Exchange, and so on, in order for employees to book a desk remotely and to, of course, manage their check-in. The second one, we mentioned it, is the Outlook add-in. So this is a little bit the same, but from the add-in itself. And the third one, which we spoke about today as well, is the desk sensors. So basically, those are the sensor solutions that we sell within Sony. Just to give you like a round idea of price, it's about 50 euros from a list price perspective, in order to measure the occupancy per desk, and of course to be able, one, to give this information to employee, and two, of course, to know when a desk is busy, when a desk is not busy, on top, of course, of the different check-in possibilities you can have from the mobile phone, from the QR code, and so on. In terms of employee app, and this will be the last slide before we go to the platform itself. So the idea is really to give a lot of different options, pretty much everything we can do within TEOS for them to be able to play on the platform and of course to enjoy, of course, let's say like new way of working from today. So they are able to do a lot of different things, to search and filters, to manage, of course, not only and to book not only room booking but also desk. They can customize everything. They can see their statistics. They can call for help and so on. I will not insist at all on this slide because we'll really show you the platform itself after. So now what I suggest is more for Guillaume to show you a little bit first the TEOS platform for the configuration of a Flex Office, just to see for you how it works, and then of course to show you the different interface of the solutions, again for you to really see how it works. So thank you very much, Guillaume.
Thank you, Thomas. So let me drive you now to our website. So today I will use my demo.teos cloud account. So if you don't have, or if you want to get more information or actually to test it, don't hesitate to ask us for it. So in terms of connection, in terms of configuration, it's quite simple, of course. Here, when you are logged in, you go directly to the site management portal. In the site management, you need to go under site configuration. The idea of TEOS and all the philosophy is now with, of course, based on a hierarchy of your company, of what you have in your building, having all the framing of all the spaces that you can have. So having that into your TEOS interface, you will have to add a device group or create one where basically in terms of option to create, you have of course to create first a company, a site where you have a building. Inside the building you can have floors, multiple floors. This is also the way that you can use of course the detection of the different localization filters. You have as well the meeting room area, which is one of the important ones, where we have a lot of arguments that can be configured and customized, as well as the desk, and now desk zones and parking zones that can be used where we have functionalities associated with it. For the rest of the spaces is also, of course, as a first start to for you to and for the customer to identify well the different spaces and be able to bring always more functionality there. In terms of functionality now, looking into our two main focus, which are actually three, which are our meeting rooms. So if I open a meeting room environment, so I will have the possibility to put the meeting room name, of course, his position, what is his parent, and the type of the meeting room. I will associate it with the maximum occupancy, and I can put a picture for the room to be identified. Also, in terms of look and feel, it will help. We will see that also in a minute, how it looks like into our employee app. In the next part is where you can activate or enable or deactivate the meeting room. So basically, here you will be able to say, as an administrator, tomorrow the room is not available. By disabling it, you will basically the users will not see it into their employee app. As well as for user roles or user groups, you can identify what type of users here can see this specific meeting room. On top of that, you remain with the configurations that can be, of course, used as well for the room booking or for our meeting interface, actually, that we'll present next week in the next webinar. You can define a capacity where, of course, capacity can be used as a filter for you to find the room with, again, a criteria that is matching your expectations. You have the early check-in as well as the early canceling, so meaning that if you are, for example, in the desk earlier than when it is used, of course, you have up to 30 minutes before the meeting, the booking, the reservation starts to do your check-in. This can be done directly via our mobile app with the QR code, for example, or via the employee app, whether from the web interface or from the mobile app again. You have also cancel time, so this is after the meeting start. You have special services that can be allowed, so the service and catering, as well as the incident informations, feedbacks that can be reported by users. This is an option that can be also set up within those two tabs, where you can identify it for the different type of usage, what is the targeted email address to receive the information. The last part here is the equipment, what type of equipment a room or a desk can have, or even a space that you want to book, to have another way of filtering it, again, to find the best space that you want to use. For the rest of the part, so the default schedules, it's of course more from an administration point of view, not from a user. On a user point of view, we have also the travel times that it's in our first version. The idea here is to be able to define the distance from a space to another, where of course we can also define the route space, or the starting space where the employee is, in order to give him all this information about the distance between him and a space statically, without of course using any geolocalization or this kind of solutions. For the service and catering here, basically we can only define what is the type of service that we can create under site management. I will show you in a second, for the users, and you can define the email address that will receive basically the request for catering. And of course, if you take for example a ServiceNow or a Jira, they can directly take this email address and create automatically a ticket based on it. So if I go back into site management, as I told you, basically you have the service and catering, just to show you in a second. Service and catering is just basically a product list that you can define, where it's fully customizable, and you can basically also add an image related to that, which can be shown mainly into our home booking system, and in the next version as well, into our employee app. So when you define all this info, all this part, you have, of course, if I come back into a meeting room, or actually I will also take a desk in a sec, but you have, of course, to define one of the most important part, which is the calendar. As Thomas said, you have compatibility with Office 365, with Exchange, with TEOS calendar. So this is as well where you will connect the information. To add a calendar into TEOS, you need to go to media and data, and from the external data to add the calendar that is visible, of course, with the right information. If it is an Office 365, you will need to create the space into your Office 365 and add it to create the room or the desk email address, the resource, to be able to get it. So you can find them into this tab around the external data. And that's mainly it. When this is defined, if we go to the desk, the only difference is, of course, the fact that for a desk specifically, you have a QR code. I will show you also in a sec how you can use this QR code directly as a shortcut to connect into your desk that has been booked. And for the other spaces, we have the parking spot. So it's a zone for parking, as well as the desk zone, which is a bit in the same philosophy of a desk, but of course here the idea is not to identify specifically a desk one by one. It's more defining a zone, a desk zone. So how many desks I have into this zone, I can have, depending on the level of the desk zone that I want to have. I have a basic one, which is only very simple desk zone, and for the rest, I have the advanced one, where I can define and I can get a QR code actually per desk under a desk zone, and I can enable or disable a desk within this zone. So that means that I will be also able to manage in an easier way the desk zone for an administrator, which is at the end quite transparent almost for the employee. What will be different is that an employee within our employee app will see only one desk zone for, of course, maybe 10, 20, 100 desks, no matter the zone you are creating, again, because you can put it, and they will always use this same one until there is no any more space into the zone. So that's of course on a top level the idea, simplifying for the administrator with the zoning, the desk booking management, and for the employees keeping also a useful and powerful platform where they can do from their mobile, from their PC, from their interfaces, the bookings and the management of their of the usage of the spaces. So if now I go quickly into our employee app, I just wanted before to show you in a second, in 1 second, the interface in a mobile. So just to show you how in a mobile we can search for, use the QR code. On the top right inside of the QR code of the interface of the mobile app, you have a QR code. So this is the home page. Basically, you have the possibility to press book a room. If you are directly in front of a desk, not a room, of course, for the QR code, you just press on the QR code interface, on the QR code button, and up, I will try to show you. So I press on the QR code, I just scan the QR code with the camera which is opening as soon as I click on this QR code logo, and I will just put the booking description. So my simple desk booking, for example, desk for Guillaume. I can define if I want to book a parking spot. I can see directly into the mobile phone what type of services are available into the desk, and I can add additional requests if needed, and at the end confirm plus submit the usage of my desk. So that's what I will see in my mobile phone. Of course, the idea is not showing you in the small interface how it looks like, but we will see in a sec into the web interface. Just in the left-hand side, you have a left bar where you can find the search for room, but also search for a desk and search for a parking spot independently to be able to book any type of space like that that you can use. And you can go as well into your own bookings to be able to do your bookings. And if I press here to start my reservation, because my reservation starts in 10 minutes from now, so I am already able to do my check-in, I just press on it and I start the reservation to be able to use the space. Just going back into the employee app, so the web interface, basically you just take the demo account, so the URL of TEOS, and you add it with employee app. When you first log in, you have a login page, and you have to put, of course, your account. This account needs to be identified in TEOS. And the next step is to put the calendar you are using. You can use a TEOS calendar. You can use, again, Office 365, Exchange, and Google to use our employee app. So you get basically into this same interface. Actually here, I just refreshed because I did one part of the process directly from my mobile phone. So you can see here in my upcoming reservations that I have this desk that I have booked. If I go inside it, as I have also expressed I have also start the reservation. Now I can see where I am in terms of usage of the desk, and I can add extra time if I want. So it can be a 15-minute, a 13-minute extra time, or I can hand my reservation directly from this TEOS employee app interface. You can see also below personal statistics from each user. I can, after press the book a room from the web interface, this will populate all my meeting rooms available for me as a user. You can see as well here we have thumbnails with the pictures that can be added into TEOS web portal administration. You can see the equipments, the small pictograms with the equipments available in each room. You can see the travel time for each room, as well as the availability and the number of and the capacity of the room. On the top of the page, you can see the filtering where you can say, for example, I want to book a room for next week, so you can do it from the platform, as well as you can define at what time you need it. If you select the duration, you will, by selecting duration directly, so that will of course give you the options of what rooms are available for 2 hours time, and by using also this duration filter, you will directly be shortcut into the last phase of the booking, where you just need to put your booking reason, so the meeting title, and you can submit the booking. You have the capacity filter, which is of course quite useful. The localization, so if you want to filter for a specific floor, if you are looking for a specific floor, the type of the room, and the equipments that can be that you want to have, for example, in a specific room. So you want to have a room where you have a Bravia, I press OK, and I will get the rooms which are of course proposing this equipment directly in the room. In terms of sorting, you can sort by the time available of the room and the capacity of the room directly from the interface. If I go now into a desk booking, because with the same interface I will be able to do both. As you can see, I see first the possibility, my desk that I just booked with the next availability, which means that if I go inside it, first I see directly in the interface of the desk that the desk is used already for until the next hour, and I can see also in the calendar of the desk, and I of course cannot book the desk when it is in the red part. So that's also the way that as a user you can easily see when the space is available. If of course the space would have been booked for all the day, I will not see at all the desk for today. I need, for example, to filter for another day, basically, to be able to book it. So that's really the way we want to show the information. So the philosophy is not showing everything and what is available or not. It's more the philosophy of when something is not available, it's not shown, and you get as a user only what is available or what is in a short time available. For the desk, we have a little bit less filtering part, because of course a desk is meeting room but for one user, so there is less, let's say, criteria to take into account. You can have of course the localization, which is still important, and equipment that can be used, because maybe you want a desk with the 2 monitors or this kind of thing, so this can be as well used. When booking any type of space from a meeting room, actually I will just do in a second. I will leave the mic to Thomas, because of course the session is for half an hour. When you book a space, you have always the possibility to select a parking spot and to book a parking spot. The idea here is basically to say, I want to book a room for tomorrow, but I want at the same time to block of course one parking one park area for my car into this parking spot that I have in the company. So it's not a specific number, it will just be out of maybe the 20 car parks that I have, I will just block one, and there is no specific number. So after, of course, I just go in any type of space. The idea here is, of course, when you search for a parking spot, and if you start also working on this philosophy using our platform, all users will be able to see as well the availability of the parking spot. So maybe if you say, I want to go to the office, but first let me check if there is a parking available, because of course I want to put my car in the office. If I want to go to the office, I will be able as well here to see the availability of the parking spot, and to be able, of course, to block a parking spot if needed. That's mainly it overall. I will, of course, there is always more functionalities. If you are really interested in getting more information, please let us know. I will just finish, of course, by the last part, which is my settings, where I just want to remind you that you can use the platform in different languages, because of course it's an important fact for your users. As user, I can directly select my own language and get it directly into the platform, and I can select also the first day of the week. So when, for example, in different countries, in different even type of work, you can have you can start maybe in a different day, so you will be also able to to select this part directly into your employee app interface. That was it for me. I just go back quickly into the interface for you, Thomas. I think just as a resume, as just a yeah,
As a summary.
as a summary, sorry. Employee app is able to basically to connect to, of course, all the agendas as you can do with the home booking, etc. It's intended again to simplify the usage of the spaces, to make sure that also we get efficiency on the spaces with home booking, desk booking, parking spot booking, and of course the statistics. You can get it with, of course, additional functionalities, and you have it also into our Outlook add-in. I think we are a bit out of time to show you the Outlook add-in, but the idea is here. Outlook add-in, of course, there is also improvements that we are planning, because today Outlook add-in is mainly focused on the meeting room booking. So basically, when you are in this Outlook add-in, you can see that into this interface, you will have all the filtering engine as you have been able to see into the employee app. And what is the difference is that when you find the best room, you click on it and it will automatically put in Office 365 or Exchange the email address of the meeting room into the agenda of Outlook to be able to use it.
Thank you very much, Guillaume. So today we really wanted to insist on, let's say, the employee side of the thing. So through the employee app, through the Outlook add-in, just for you to know the way it works today. So for this, in order for like a company to have access, of course, to this app, it's really using the employee license that you can see on the bottom. To put it simple, it's really, let's say, for a standard price without any volume or anything like this, €1 per month per employee. So quite an attractive price. And of course, we work on a discount for more quantity. On top of this, and as a summary as well, so we really have 3 ways to work around the flex office in a corporate environment today. One is the most simple one. You just put QR codes on desk. You just use your phone to scan, check in, check out, and that's it. So it's really like a affordable, very cost effective, very easy. And then for users who really want, or employees or companies that really wants to step up a little bit and have maybe more budget, we can of course offer the sensors, which can go below the desk. So for €50 per sensor to measure live the occupancy and use this information in the booking. And then of course, for even higher projects or higher end projects, we can use small tablets, like 3.5-inch tablets, which is more about €400 per desk, to give you like an overview on the price. Just as a reminder as well, if we go to the next slide, so this was really our third session. The fourth session that we will have will be next week, same time, where we'll really focus on 2 things, the meeting room display and the wireless mirroring, sorry. So really from the inside of meeting rooms, where we will show live and explain, of course, how we can use the most out of a meeting room through the display itself and the value that it can bring inside the meeting room, and of course with mirroring and TEOS Connect in general. So just in case you still have questions, you still have time to write them down. We have a few minutes to cover some of them. And I will start actually right now. So the first question we have is more roadmap related. So what are our next plans into this? So just for you to know, in the immediate term, what we are doing now, as you have seen, we have stepped up quite a lot the TEOS interface from the admin side, which Guillaume showed you at the beginning, from the version 2.0 to version 3.0. So at the moment, we are spending quite some efforts as well in order to review the interface of the employee app for you to enjoy. So this will be like something we should be really freshen up and really stepping up compared to what you have seen today, which is already working very well, but really for to align more with what we do. So this should be available in the coming months. This will be something that we will share with you on a later basis. We have a question which will be more for you, Guillaume. Can we add the virtual meeting in the app like MS for
Microsoft?
Teams? Yes.
So from the employee app, no, this will be more used if you are using, of course, the Outlook add-in. So in this aspect, of course, you are creating a meeting in your Outlook and using the Outlook add-in for finding the best meeting room that fits with your need.
Thank you, Guillaume. We have another question, also a third question on the integration with other platform.
If it is maybe...
So maybe the question is a bit vague though.
Yeah. If it was about maybe agendas today, officially the agendas which was...
with existing building applications.
So on the maybe on sensors level. So for the sensors part, in fact we didn't went too deep into that part, but of course we have our sensors, but we have also compatibility with KNX and DALI. Mainly KNX. We can use sensors from a KNX, let's say, world, and basically make the same rules as we can do for our LoRaWAN sensors with KNX. So if it is the question, we can in fact interact with the building on that aspect.
Yes, speaking about the Flex Office, if today you are working on projects where you don't want to use our sensors, which are again LoRaWAN compatible, and if you want to use like other sensors, please be aware that we are fully compatible with any type of device from KNX, DALI, and LoRaWAN, which will give you like a lot of different options to integrate flexibility using, of course, TEOS for this purpose. Again, really the value that we try to offer to all our customers is really the scope that we can provide to them to help them really manage the full corporate workplace, from the room booking to the reception to the inside the meeting rooms, with the meeting display and the mirroring that we will speak about next week, with the Flex Office today, of course, and so on. Very soon we'll have also some very nice tool to show this to you, like in a much more visual way, something that we will share in the coming weeks also. But really, really this is what we try to do and what we try to offer. So we are out of time, so this is really to thank you very much. For the rest of the questions, we will come back to you by email. So thank you very much for attending today. We hope that you liked the session. And of course, we will continue to do this on a weekly basis to make sure that we can really share with you some what we hope is useful information, and really to continue to show you the new platform that we have launched, so the version 3.0 of TEOS, and the different add-ons which are connected to it. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a very nice day, and speak to you in 1 week from today. Cheers.